Welcome back to Turn of the Millennials. I'm Lindy.
I'm Stephanie.
And today we are going to be discussing the many beautiful souls we have lost so far in 2022 and late 2021. So as a lot of you know, we lost a lot of really good people the last few weeks.
Yep. Even the last couple of months has just been a whirlwind of
few months. Yeah, has been terrible.
Lost.
So just to list those lost souls that we are going to be talking about today. Obviously, Betty White, we lost her in December. Bob Saget, Meatloaf, Sidney Poitier, John Madden, Louie Anderson, Andre Leon Talley, Willie Garson, Art Lafleur, and Michael Naismith.
Those are
just some of the handful.
The handful. Yeah. But these are the ones that were kind of, I think, a little more impactful, or that we kind of really knew or had some, semblance of too. And starting off, obviously, everyone's favorite grandma, whose basically career spanned 8 decades. We have Betty White, the ever loving, beautiful soul that was Betty White. She was born on January 17th, 1922, as most of us, I'm assuming, donated as well on that day this year for her 100th birthday. And as we all saw, she made 2021 her bitch, and unfortunately she passed away right at the end of the year on December 31st, 2021.
She took that bitch with her.
Took that bitch with her. She knew we didn't need any more of that, and she took it with her. So,
and the protective grandma.
So as we said, like I said, her career has basically spanned 8 decades. She's been in shows such as Mary Tyler Moore, Golden Girls, Hot in Cleveland, movies like The Proposal, has done multiple work for, pets and charities and everything. The humble woman that she is. They also labeled her the First Lady of game shows and the First Lady of television, because she actually appeared on many, many like Password and Pyramids, and she ended up meeting her husband actually through those game shows.
Her third husband, yes. Which I love. Doing some research on Betty White, one of her facts that stood out to me was why she divorced her first husband. He wanted her to stay at home and have babies, and she was like, screw you, I want to continue my career, and divorced him. Good for you, Betty.
Even back
say no to the patriarchy.
Even back in a time when it was women weren't allowed to make these weren't allowed, but it wasn't often that women were making these kind of decisions to do things for themselves. Their husbands were their end all be all, and that's kind of what it was. And she's always been a pioneer.
She's for equality.
Even in Golden Girls, like going back and watching it, I know you were saying you started watching it as well, and just all the times that for being in the 80s, there was a lot of topics that even when I went back and watched it, I was quite surprised that they tackled back in the late 80s and 90s. What else has Betty White just graced our presences with?
Well, okay, one thing that I forgot about until I saw something about it on Facebook a couple of months before she had passed was that she was the old lady at the end of Lake Placid that was feeding the crocodiles.
Oh, interesting.
And I was just like, oh, right. I was like, I totally forgot she was in that, because her role is very small. She's in the very beginning, like the first few minutes of the very beginning, and then she's in the very end of it. And she might pop up in the middle of the movie at some point, but I don't recall. It's been a really long time since I've watched that movie. But I was just like, oh yeah, that was her. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I love her grab life by the balls attitude. Like she is just no nonsense. Like, I'm a do me, you do you. Like, treat everyone with kindness and equality and fairness, and animal lover, and just all around just probably the best person on the planet. And we lost her.
From basically America's grandma to America's dad, we also lost Bob Saget January 9th. So he was actually born May 17th, 1956, and passed away January 9th, 2022, in his 60s.
And we unfortunately
still young.
And unfortunately, our timing was a little off with our last episode. We recorded it the morning before he passed.
Of his passing, so we weren't trying
the morning of his passing, so we didn't know about it yet.
So we hadn't. So we weren't being really considerate when we weren't talking about Full House in a bad way, but we weren't being considerate of not mentioning it. We just weren't aware of it until probably a couple hours after our recording.
I've got to say, sorry, but Bob Saget and Betty White, other than Anton Yelkin, Bob Saget and Betty White, I fucking bawled. I bawled, like, just, it upset me so, like, it upset me and impacted me so much more than I expected it to. And I think because of Bob Saget, like, for both of them, they were both extremely unexpected. Yes, Betty White was 99 years old, almost to her 100th birthday, but she was still taken from us too soon, I think. And I think Bob that's Saget, a testimony to her character. And Bob Saget's in his 60s. Obviously, that was so unexpected.
Many years left. So he was a stand-up comedian, sitcom, and a sitcom star and his TV host, best known for Danny Tanner on Full House, his hosting of the early America's Funniest Home Videos in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then also the narrator, Ted, of How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. Bob Saget's just awesome. Like,
and then also his stint on Entourage, too, because he was in Entourage and everyone,
And one of his top movie moments, can we not forget his cameo in Half Baked? Have you ever sucked cock for Coke? I have. Sit down and shut up.
Yep. Oh, Bob Saget. And then his
fucking love Bob Saget. I watched like videos of his like memoriams and best top Bob Saget moments and stuff on YouTube like all morning, just to like.
Yeah, and he spent so long as Danny Tanner, and it was really funny because it was quite a like very clean cut person, and then all of a sudden he, after kind of Full House, he went back to a stand up, and then everyone was like, oh, who is this man? He's so dirty. But he wasn't really like, he wasn't dirty. He was just talking about things that weren't quite talked about so much on Full House. He was just talking about stuff that he thought was funny, and then everyone thought that like, so I remember there was like a little lull in Bob Saget where he was trying to like figure himself out again, almost after
trying to transition from the wholesome Danny Tanner to who he is.
So it doesn't always happen with teen stars, guys. It can happen with adult stars. You're pigeonholed into one role for so long and you don't want to do it anymore.
And like Jeff Franklin even said that he created the character of Danny Tanner for Bob Saget. It's just a cleaner version of Bob Saget. But hey, did you know that Bob Saget is Grammy nominated?
Oh, I did not know that.
He was back in 2014, he released a comedy album called That's What I'm Talking About that earned him a spot on the list of Grammy nominees.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting.
Congrats, Bob.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a few comedians that have like Grammys for their comedy specials.
And did you know that when he was 22, he was so overweight he almost died?
Really? Being that tall?
Yeah.
What would
it
be
almost
tall,
caught up to him
man?
when he had to have his appendix removed. I guess his appendix exploded, so he almost died.
Ouch.
And they narrowed it down to his weight. But I was at work. So that was a Sunday that he passed. So the next day, Monday at work, I'm working away in the morning, and this girl that I work with, Steph, came over to me and asked me, she's like, I just wanted to see how you are she's like, I was concerned about how you are with Bob Saget's passing. And the second she said it, I burst into fucking tears. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I shouldn't, like, and this is no offense. Like, I'm not trying to offend Bob Saget or his family or anything like that. Like, I shouldn't be this upset because I never personally knew him. Yeah. But what he meant to us growing up, like, we've been growing up with him. Like, I was Stephanie's age when that show started. I was 5 years old, right along with Steph as that, whatever. So he's been a part of my life since I was 5. And I feel like I know him. And it just, I cried at work over Bob Saget.
Well, that's one thing that they've said. I can't remember who it was, but I know that's one thing kind of with the whole Betty White and the Bob Saget that they say is different with sitcom stars versus movie stars. I think it actually could have been in a Betty White special. I might have seen this, is that they feel more attainable because you're seeing them in your home every week and every day, and you're following these stories, versus a movie star is so unattainable because you're seeing them on a big screen first in their, these actors and all by themselves. Whereas, like, so these are people that you feel you're in your home. They're in your, like, I know, you can watch movies on like DVDs and stuff later, but when you first see them, they're only attainable on screen. These people are coming into your house almost like in an intimate setting with you every day. So you grow a bond with these people that aren't on a show. Like, you almost feel like you get to know them. And so when they pass, or when these things end, it feels like you're ripping a part of your family away almost.
Yeah. And it's also like now with streaming, like you can binge hours and hours and hours of this shit. Like, I've already watched Fuller House like 6 times in the past probably like year and a half, 2 years, and like all 5 seasons, 6 times. And yeah, like I felt like a part of my, like a member of my family died. Yeah. And it's just, it was very upsetting and it's rough. And people may laugh at you, but you know what? Yeah, he was a staple of my childhood. And then well into my adulthood with the How I Met Your Mother role. Because like I've watched How I Met Your Mother 27 fucking times. Yeah. I'm not even kidding. I'm not exaggerating. 27 times I've seen all 9 seasons. Like I could recite it word for word like Friends. He's been a part of my life for a very long time. Rip Bob Saget. We'll miss you.
We will miss you. So next into the music realm, very recently we lost Meatloaf, January 20th. Yeah. So only a week ago. He was born September 27th, 1947. And this is at past January 20th, 2022. Best known for his Bat Out of Hell albums released in 1977 and 1993. And he also starred in movies like Rocky Horror Picture Show, Fight Club, and an episode of Glee as well when they did the Rocky Horror. So he's just all well around.
Forgetting Spice World.
Oh yes, he was the driver in Spice World. Oh my gosh, I forgot.
I love those girls. I'd do anything for them, but I won't do that. Yep. Meaning cleaning their toilets, unclogging their toilets either, on the bus.
I wouldn't either.
I loved Meatloaf. My
Paradise by the Dashboard Light was our song at the trailer for like our singing song. We would just belt it out and just be stupid and act it out and be all drama-filled at the dances.
I was introduced to Meatloaf at a very young age. My dad was a huge Meatloaf fan. I'm pretty sure he had his Bat Out of Hell album on vinyl.
I think so. We had it on cassette for sure. I know for sure cassette. I don't know about anything else.
And I very, very vividly remember like his video for "I Would Do Anything for Love," but I won't do that.
There's 2 versions: the extended,
both
and
versions,
the short
both versions. I remember like just anytime it was on Much Music or Much More Music, I had to watch it. It was kind of like Bohemian Rhapsody. You don't walk away from it. You don't. No, you can't.
Although, even though the Bohemian Rhapsody video is a little boring, you still can't walk away from it because
it is not boring. You shish.
Well, shish. It's just a bunch of faces. Just a bunch of faces compared to what I Would Do Anything for Love, where you've got a nice theatrical story to it and everything.
I Would Do Anything for Love is like what we said in our Formidable Opponents episode with our 90s music videos, right? Like it's an epic video. It tells a love story. Like whatever. Right. But Bohemian Rhapsody was just a mix of awesome shots of Queen and that were unprecedented at that time. Like the way things were shot and everything was that nobody had ever seen something like that before. And then crossed over with scenes from Wayne's World. Fuck yeah.
That one came out in 92. The original video didn't have those, remember?
I know, but still, both of them.
Later on, when they added the scenes
fantastic
in,
videos.
It was good.
Fantastic videos.
Because honestly, that was my like real introduction to Queen was
Wayne's World.
I was 7 was when Wayne's World came out on video.
Me too.
It was like I was 7.
Like I do remember hearing their songs because my dad was a Queen fan.
Well, no, my dad was a huge Queen fan, so I know I heard the songs, but that was the moment that like I accessed them and put them in and became like my taking of them and now putting it into my knowledge of music.
That was the moment they came on your radar. Yeah, me too. I say me too. Because when did that movie come out? 92?
92.
Yeah, so I was like 9. Yeah, I was about 9. Yeah, and we watched it and it was such a good fucking movie. So good.
It was always the headbanging because they would be in the car and then they'd be doing headbanging and you just...
Wasn't he one of the bouncers in Wayne's World?
Oh yes, he was. He was the bouncer at the Rage Place. Yes.
Yeah, and
what was it called?
Chris Farley was
Fireworks,
in it too.
I think it was.
Yeah, and Chris Farley was in it too. Gasworks.
Yeah. Gasworks.
Yeah, because it was on fire. Because it was on fire.
It was on fire. Yeah, and that's why I was like, yeah. I remember it was like Works or something.
And it was
I remember that part.
The best heavy metal club, like in LA or in
the
Chicago.
Shitty Beatles.
Yeah, it's the Shitty Beatles. Are they any good? No, man, they're shitty. Oh, so it's not just a wordplay.
I love that movie. Oh, Meatloaf, we love you as well. Like so good.
Yeah. Oh, Meatloaf. And then him as a Meatloaf in Sausage Party.
I saw Sausage Party once.
You've only seen it once?
Yeah.
I know that beginning opening song. I know it word for word.
All right, then.
I listened to it like it's in my playlist. I fucking love that song. It's so good.
I think it was the end grocery scene that just kind of.
You can turn it off before that. Watch it, but then turn it off like as they're, before the food orgy starts.
It was too much. I couldn't do it. I think that's why I haven't watched it again.
That's definitely for sure. Like, yeah. I'm shocked and appalled, even though he's 15. I'm still shocked and appalled that my 15-year-old stepson has seen it. Not by I don't think I didn't let him watch it, but he's 15. Like, he probably watched it at a friend's house. But I just knowing he watched that, I'm like, ew.
I know, but I think about the movies I watched at 15, and he's not in the wrong.
You never go back. Selma Hayek. I love that they got Selma Hayek for that movie. That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. Moving on.
So next we have Sidney Poitier, who was born February 20th, 1927, and passed January 6th, 2022. So again, he was kind of in that golden age of Hollywood, right up there kind of in Betty White's era as well. So he's been in for almost been around for a while. He was an actor, director, and a diplomat. He was the first actor to win an Academy Award, and the last major star from the golden age of Hollywood.
He was the first African-American actor to win an Academy Award. You just said actor.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You just said actor.
First African-American. Sorry, first African-American actor to win an Academy Award.
In what year does it say?
I did not find that. I think it was in the 40s somewhere, though.
Okay. But good for him. That he opened a lot of doors for African-American actors.
Sorry, in 1963, he was the first actor and the first Bahamian, that's it, to win an Academy Award for Best Actor. He received 2 competitive Golden Globe Awards, a competitive British Academy of Film and Arts, a BAFTA, and a Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word Album.
Nice. Does it say what movie he won his Academy Award for?
I think they did Lilies of the Field, playing a handyman helping a group of German-speaking nuns building a chapel.
You know what? I think I actually saw a video about that shortly after he passed. I watched a video about Sidney Poitier and his accomplishments and stuff like that, and they definitely mentioned the Lily of the Fields. About he was and it says he was the very first African American or Bohemian American actor to be cast in a lead role, and it broke down doors for a lot of people.
Yeah, and then it says he continued to break ground in 3 successful 67 films which dealt with issues of race and race relations: To Sir with Love, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and In the Heat of the Night. And the latter won an Academy Award for Best Picture that year. So definitely a trailblazer for people of color and everything, and just paved the way for everyone to come through. And we thank you.
Thank you, Sydney. Thank you for that.
Yep. Thank you.
Because of you, we have been exposed to a lot of entertainers who we may not have ever known if it weren't for him.
Absolutely.
So next one.
So now I guess we'll go into some sports. I think this is more of your realm.
This is a really sad day in football history. Passing of John Madden. Yes. He passed December 28th of 2021. He was an American football coach, an NFL commentator. He never lost a season. He holds the highest winning percentage among NFL head coaches, who coached 100 games and was drafted to Philadelphia Eagles, but his career ended due to injury.
We also know that he spun how many Madden football games? Madden 2003, 2017. So basically a franchise also of video games.
Yes, absolutely.
I was not a football player, but I do remember him from Little Giants. Yeah, with Devin Sawa. Yeah, because him and the 3 football players come, and then he's like, it's 80% mental and 40% physical. Yeah, and they're like, wait, that doesn't make sense, because that's 120%, not 100%. And then I remember, he chose the little nerdy guy, different coaching tips and stuff like that, and I think that was my first time of ever John Madden on my radar was Little Giants.
He froze again.
I'm pretty sure like John Madden might have been on my radar prior to Little Giants, but because my dad was a sports guy. He liked football, baseball, hockey and football. I think were the main ones he would really watch. So I might have heard of him, but I didn't really know about him until like Little Giants, and then going forward with the Madden games.
He only as a player he only played for Philadelphia Eagles, and as an NFL coach he only coached the Oakland Raiders. And he won as the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. He won Super Bowl 11. So he only won the one. And then when he went on to broadcasting, he actually is a 12-time Emmy Award winner for sports broadcasting, which I like. That's pretty fucking impressive, I think. And then he was also inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2006.
Good for him.
So he is a heavily awarded
sports commentator.
Sports commentator,
and then also
he's huge in the football world. Huge in the football world. Like you said, how many video games of his do they have? Like how many of those exist?
Like I think as soon as they started doing sports games, I think for the Super Nintendo, it was Madden football.
I'm pretty sure it was Madden 2000. Madden 2000 was like the first one, wasn't it?
No,
Madden 98.
There might have been one for I feel like there might have been one for Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
Yes. No. Right? Yeah. Okay, Madden NFL, known as Madden Football until 1994. Okay, so when did it start? Oh, it's Amiga, Super NES, Genesis, Mega Drive, Game Gear, 3DO. So it's been out for 1988 was its first release.
I just came across it. From 1988 on, Madden lent his name, voice, and creative input to the John Madden football series of football video games. Later called it Madden NFL.
Wow. So again, guys, this is how big this guy was. He spawned this franchise in 88.
Yeah.
And they just kept with it ever since because he's, like I said, he's such a great commentator, a good sports coach. He's, and I'm trying to do, we're trying to do as best we can.
He was already out of football and stuff before I really became a football fan.
Okay.
And
so he was like just commentating at that point.
Yeah. And, like I became a fan of football when I was like 6 years old. Right. So I wasn't privy to I didn't remember all the names of all of the people, whatever, up and until I was probably like a teenager or something. I didn't really pay attention to that stuff. I just watched the games. But as I think that was like teenager was when I started to pay attention to names and things like that. And I think I believe he was a commentator at the time. And then a lot of the times when the commentators didn't say what I wanted them to say about my team, I would be like, fuck you.
You would get mad at them.
Right. Yeah.
I feel it.
Like,
I feel
leave them alone.
Leave them alone. Leave my players alone. Although my Ducks won last night. I guess the Canadiens. Sorry.
Oh no, that came through. I heard you.
Oh, okay.
But no, I was walking through Walmart the other day, and my jacket that I wear to work all the time is the green one with the yellow Packers across the chest that Monique gave me, and then underneath that, as insulation, I wear my heavy zip up Green Bay Packers hoodie. So I was walking down Walmart, my jacket's zipped up, and I'm walking, and this employee's at the end of the aisle, and she turns to me, she goes, oh, I love your jacket. And I go, this one or this one? And she like almost pissed herself laughing. She's like, oh my God, that's awesome. It was so funny.
That's hilarious. Sorry.
Side note, awesome. Not unrelated story, but whatever. I just thought it was hilarious.
It's football. It's related. It's all.
I wear something Packer related almost every single day.
I have a lot. This is obviously my Ducks collection in the back of every usually episode recording, and then I have a bunch of my sweaters and jerseys in there. Next, also very, very recently, about a week ago, we lost Louie Anderson. January 21st, 2022. He was a stand-up comedian, an actor, and a game show host. He had the Life with Louie cartoon that was on when we were in the 90s, and he also hosted Family Feud. And recently, he's in Zach Galifianakis' show Baskets, that apparently they've said he's been... I can't remember if it said he won an award or he was nominated for an award in it. They say he's apparently doing really well in that one, from what I've been hearing.
Yeah, I remember Louie Anderson from Life with Louie.
And Family Feud host.
I don't think I watched... I think I saw a few episodes of him hosting it.
Yeah, it was before Tim. I think he was before Tim Karn.
Again, have not had cable in almost 10 years, so couldn't tell you.
This was been a long time. Mid 2000s, I think it was.
Mid 2000s,
maybe, because it was okay. So the reiterations, there's been Louie Anderson, Tim Karn, the older guy with the gray hair. Oh, what's his name? I can't remember it right now. And then it went to Steve Harvey. I think Louie Anderson and Tim Karn were only on it for a couple of them. Like a season or two.
I'm just seeing what years he was the host of Family Feud, because it doesn't tell me. They're being buttholes. Doesn't fucking tell me. Actually, fucking IMDb would be a better option to figure that out. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go to that website.
Yeah. Then
I just remember the cartoon, and I remember loving it. I couldn't remember like an episode. I couldn't recite anything to you at this moment, or even remember the theme song, but like I do remember really enjoying it.
There was a bunch of comedians, like there was Bobby's World and Life with Louie, where they were like, a lot of comedians were doing these cartoons for the kids out at the time.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah.
Because it was the boomers' kids. It was the millennials. So we're the second largest generation behind boomers. So you had to kind of cater to us. So everyone was trying to get in on us. You know, here, we'll get entertainment for this, entertainment for that. Like, we got a kid shows.
You make us sound like a secret club or something. Why is this?
Well, no, but just like when you've got like large pockets of, you know, generations, your media's got to kind of sway towards them.
Yeah. Why is his IMDb is really not up to date? It has listed as one thing.
Weird.
Like, that's fucking weird. Maybe it's this one. Oh, he has several IMDb profiles. That's what that's what that is. Okay. Okay. Life with Louie was 94 to 98. Oh wait, it wouldn't be actor. It would be himself, right? Yeah.
Possibly. Sometimes himself.
Family Feud. Ooh, he was on Josh Gates Tonight. That's cool.
Ferris Bueller.
I love Josh Gates. He's awesome. He was in Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, apparently.
Really?
That's what I saw there too. Yeah.
I'm not coming. Oh, Celebrity Family Feud. I'm not finding Family Feud. I'm in 2012. So you said mid 2000s?
I think so.
Hold on. Well, because it goes most recent to oldest, right? So Mad TV, that's going back.
99.
Last Comic Standing, Hollywood Squares. Oh, remember Hollywood Squares?
Yeah, with Tom Bergeron. Anderson landed the role of host in 99. Yeah.
99 to 2002. Oh, okay.
And then I believe Richard Karn.
Well, I don't know. Because that would have been high school. That was when we were in high school.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't know.
I probably watched it then, but you all right? Drop your microphone.
Drop the microphone.
I don't know. It's my 38-year-old brain that I don't remember.
I know. We're getting old. So then next, I found out of this one just recently as well. Entre Leon Talley.
This one I don't recall.
He was a fashion judge on America's Next Top Model on cycles 14 to 17. And then I think a couple times he did a bunch.
Well, I saw that on the drive, but
yeah. So he's a fashion journalist, a stylist, creative director, and editor at large for Vogue. Again, I mostly just got to know him from America's Next Top Model, but then once I knew who he was from America's Next Top Model, I kept seeing him. So like he had a small little part, I think, in like Zoolander, or anytime there's like fashion movies or like TV shows, sometimes they'll kind of show him in the background, or he'll make a quick like hello or things. So yeah, that was how I kind of knew about him.
Okay. Yeah, no, I totally remember him now.
Yeah,
he was I remember him.
We also have Art Lafleur, who passed away. It was last year. It was November 17th, 2021. But I didn't know this because, especially before Christmas, he was the Tooth Fairy in Santa Claus 2 and 3, which I didn't realize he'd passed away just before Christmas, which I was like, oh, I would have like, when I was watching those movies, I would have been, I would have found out and been like, oh, that's so sad. And he was also a Babe Ruth in The Sandlot. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. He was that guy.
Yeah.
I remember that. For some reason, I still remember that line, and I don't know
sad.
why. Don't know why I remember that line.
It resonated with you.
Apparently, it resonated with me. Michael Naismith from the Monkees. He also passed away.
See, and I didn't know this.
I didn't either.
I don't think I heard about this. Like, I don't think it came across Facebook, and that is really upsetting because he was a pretty awesome, talented guy.
Yeah, it's part of the Monkees. He did a bunch of other stuff afterwards in the music industry, but like he was the Monkees. Like we all knew him. They played on much music all the time.
I watched the Monkees like every day after school,
and then I went to much more music.
Yeah, like and my mom and dad laughed at me because they're just like, we watched that when we were your age.
Yeah.
And and that would be like my stepkids voluntarily watching like Full House or something now, which they would because Full House is awesome.
Yeah. I remember going to grade 8 Ottawa trip and we were on the Parliament steps doing the like crossover monkeys. Exactly, like that's what people would do, because when we were watching, you'd see like, okay, I want to try that. So you go to different places and you try it. And I remember
kind of like when you're on Abbey Road in England and you do like the walk with the Beatles.
The shitty Beatles.
Are they any good? They're shitty, man.
And then lastly, we had Willie Garson. I know it was September.
I was 21st. Shocked to find out about this one.
Yeah, and I know this one was back in September, but still, it's a hard one to face, because especially now that with the and Just Like That remake is now being premiered. They're on episode 9 of this season, and it's so like he's in the first episode or 2, I think, and then after that he passed away, so they had to make his exit in the show, and it just doesn't quite feel the same without him. And I know I know Anthony's
was he sick?
I don't want to say cancer, but I think it was a sickness.
Yeah, because I didn't know. I wasn't aware if he was ill or if he even made others aware that he was ill. I don't know.
Pancreatic cancer, complications related to pancreatic cancer.
Oh, that's too bad.
It was 57 years
sad.
old.
It's always really sad, like losing beloved celebrities, even though you don't personally know them. People may make fun of you for being affected by their death, but tell them to fuck off, because
again, these are
everyone has their own way of grieving. And even though we didn't personally know them, they did help shape us into the people we are.
They entertain
I learned a lot of lessons from Danny Tanner.
Yeah, they like I said, you learn from them. From watching them every day, you learn their lessons. You just sometimes or even in a case like, so at the time when Sex and the City came out, there might not have been a lot of gay characters that would have been, say, as accessible. So right there, now people see themselves represented on TV, or there might not have been a nerdy bald gay man character before, and now all of a sudden someone feels themselves represented. And that's really why people love TV, because they can, if they can't see themselves outside, at least they can see themselves sometimes maybe see themselves on TV. And that's like I said, there's some certain characters you resonate with, and so when that person or that actor passes, it's just, you feel like you're losing your best friend.
Yeah, it's really sad, and it's upsetting. And especially in the case of Bob Saget and Betty White, like, not trying to dismiss like the loved ones of the others, because I'm not trying to be sensitive, but I just on social, like, it's something I've noticed on social media, Bob Saget and Betty White's hit the hardest to like the most people, because like you said earlier on, like it was the world's grandma and dad that passed within like a week and a half of each other. Like, it was devastating, to say the least.
And then also we were all still dealing with Omicron, COVID, and so
being isolated and quarantining and getting over COVID. And it's just, there's and it was the holidays. Holidays are stressful enough as it is. And it's just, it was so much, so quick, like all of them, like all 8 of them, 9 of them.
Within a week or 2 of each other.
It was way too much too soon, and it was awful. And I feel so terrible for all of their families and loved ones and friends. Like, I can't imagine what they're going through. And
it's always hard losing your loved one, even if they are, like a case of Betty White, 99 years old, and you just, not that you're not expected, like, that they're old and it's going to happen, but it's still always sad. Doesn't matter if they're 7 years old, 100 years old, you're losing someone, and it's always hard to process and deal with. And
I love the meme that was going around Facebook of Betty White's death that said, imagine being so loved by the world that 99 years is still too soon. And that gets me, because it's true. Like, she was almost 100 years old. She is older than sliced bread, and still, like, gone way too soon, too soon. But she's at peace. She's with Alan.
It's been long enough without her dear husband, so at least now they're finally together. And
we'll miss you, Betty. We'll miss you, Bob.
Miss you.
Meatloaf, John, Sydney,
Louie, Andre,
Willie,
Art, and Michael, all of you. We love you, and we know.
And thank you so much for your art. Thank you so much for your entertainment, your music, your projects,
your contributions to our lessons in growing up as people. Like, I know it sounds silly to learn lessons from TV, but sometimes you do have to learn a lesson from just seeing, or and thank you for teaching us those
lessons.
You
for being a part of our lives. Yes, thank you for gracing us with your presence on the screen, or for any of you who have met these celebrities, like, please let us know your stories. If you've met any of them, let us know how it went.
Right. We'd love to
I'd love to read about that.
Super awesome these people are.
Yeah. Because I've heard nothing awesome or nothing but awesomeness about all of them when being met by fans. Because I've been reading a lot. I read up a lot on a lot of them, just reading the reviews and things like that. Because you know, like, you get intrigued, like, because now that they're no longer here, like, you're just like, oh well, now I guess now is as good a time as any to read up and check out learn about their lives and their work and their contributions. Like, they were all philanthropists and gave to charities. And Bob Saget raised a ton of money for scleroderma, which is a disease that took his sister at the age of 34. Betty White, look at how many people, what was it, 27 point something million dollars was raised on January 17th in animal shelters.
In animal
just
shelters,
on that day.
That's just not including people that, like, I donated to a local pet food bank, and that might not have been even calculated into that. So, like,
no, that was just monetary donations.
Yeah. No. I literally transferred $50 to them, but because they're not part of, like, the food bank or animal shelter, they're their own, like, little thing. So exactly, there's, like, that's just
there. It was more than that.
Exactly. There's all of those other entities that might have gotten stuff as well. So that's what I'm saying. It wasn't just 27. There's clearly more than that from other, all the other entities as well.
So so see, and even look at, like, the impact she has after her death. Like, that's probably going to be a yearly thing now.
Oh, probably.
Like, they'll probably make it a Betty White Day.
Yeah.
And to honor her, everyone will donate
donation or something day,
a shelter or something. I donated to it's a shelter called Dogtails, and they help rescue, like, dogs in distress, dog fighting rings, things like that, and horses. And right now they are trying to fight the law in Canada where it's okay to ship horses to Japan for slaughter.
Terrible.
So there's that. So I donated to that one because I was just like, that is fucking terrible.
And it's just terrible.
That's awful. So I can't believe Canada supports that. So that's a damn shame.
Right.
So I donated. Anyway.
So
moving on.
I guess, so that's all of our people that we've lost this year, within the last few months. We are hoping, I know, obviously we're going to lose some in 2022, but we're just hoping it's not anyone as
we were hoping our list wouldn't be that long.
Right.
Already.
We were originally only anticipating 2 or 3. And then when we did a little more research, it just got a little longer. So
it's really starting to feel like 2016 all over again. Knock on wood.
We've been through enough in these last 2 years. It's,
leave our beloved celebrities alone, please. We are begging you.
Just for now. Just give
them
us
alone.
a little break.
Yeah.
In 2022 and then 2023, we can go back to not people dying, but just you can go back to just the world being shit again. But give us, like, 1 year of the world not being shit, please. Like, that's all we want. Just 1 year of, no more shitty COVID, no more terrible deaths, and no more forest fires, and the weather the
climate change
that people
effects
are getting,
things.
And just 1 year of just normalcy.
Yeah,
please. That's all I want.
Bring normal back,
right?
I'm so sick of my face mask.
I know. Right.
So I'll probably still wear it for a while after they lift the mandate. I
got my 6G booster yesterday.
Congratulations. Let me know when your third arm starts growing.
Perfect. Sounds good. All right, everybody. On that note, so again, we just for the families of these people and just anyone who's really lost anyone this year, we feel for you, and we just
our condolences
and our hearts go out to you. And
so that's it. I guess that's our time.
Yeah, so join us our next episode, and we'll be a little more lighthearted to our normal lightheartedness, but we just felt like we really needed to do a memorial episode.
Yeah, we feel like we needed to, what's the word I'm looking for?
Eulogize, pay respect.
Yeah, pay respect, I guess. I feel like we needed to send a thank you and a goodbye to those our beloved celebrities who have been around for almost our entire lives, that have been a part of our lives, who helped shape us. So we felt it kind of necessary to acknowledge this. Acknowledge, that was the word I was looking for.
Acknowledge, okay.
So everyone out there, hold your family and loved ones tight. Say I love you so much that it's weird, because you never know when you won't be able to say goodbye.
Right, including your friends, family, everybody.
And your pets. Don't forget your pets.
Don't forget your pets. Yeah. I tell Riley all the time I love him, and he's probably like, Mom, stop it.
I tell my animals all the time too, and they're just like, Mom,
Leave us alone.
Yeah, because I can talk to my animals.
I do too, of course. 100%.
Yeah.
All right, millennials. We will see you on the next episode.
Yep. Stay safe. Peace out.
Peace out. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you liked it, be sure to check out our previous episodes on our website at www.millennialspod.com. And also, you can check them out on Spotify, Anchor, Google, or Apple Podcasts. While you're there, hit the follow and subscribe buttons so you can stay up to date on all of our latest episodes. Also, you can follow us on all of the socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, at Turn of the Millennials Pod, and like us on Facebook to leave a comment and a review. We greatly appreciate it. We will see you next episode.